Remember that catchy dance craze everyone was doing? It seemed like every time you opened your phone, there was a new challenge to try, a new move to master. From the renegade to the savage love dance, these trends brought people together, even if just for a few seconds of shared joy. They were more than just dances, they were moments of connection in a digital age. Or that hilarious cat video that went viral. You know, the one where the cat does that unexpected flip, or the one where it seems to be talking back to its owner. These videos weren't just funny, they were a much-needed break from the daily grind, a little slice of happiness that could make anyone's day better. Yeah, those were probably from TikTok. The app wasn't just a platform, it was a cultural phenomenon. It gave rise to countless trends, memes, and even new celebrities. People spent hours scrolling through their feeds, discovering new content, and sharing their own creations. It was a place where creativity knew no bounds. But if you're in the US and trying to find them now, you're out of luck. Imagine opening your phone, ready to dive into the latest viral sensation, only to find that the app is no longer available. It's a strange new reality for millions of users who had made TikTok a part of their daily routine. As of January 19, 2025, TikTok is officially banned in the US. This isn't just a temporary glitch or a technical issue, it's a full-blown ban. The app that had become a staple in American digital life is now inaccessible, leaving a void that other platforms are scrambling to fill. That's right, the app that had millions of Americans glued to their screens is no more. Poof, gone. It's as if a whole chapter of internet culture has been erased overnight. People are left wondering what to do with their free time and where to find their next dose of entertainment. The reason? The US government says it's all about national security. This isn't just about fun and games, it's about protecting sensitive information and ensuring that user data doesn't fall into the wrong hands. The stakes are high, and the decision has sparked a lot of debates. They're worried about TikTok's Chinese ownership and what that means for our data. Concerns about data privacy and national security have been at the forefront of this decision. The fear is that user data could be accessed by the Chinese government, posing a risk to national security. So what happens now? Will TikTok ever return? Let's dive into the details of this digital drama and see what the future holds for the beloved and banned app. There are talks of potential replacements, new regulations, and even the possibility of TikTok making a comeback under different ownership. The story is far from over, and the next chapter promises to be just as intriguing. Get ready for some serious intrigue because this is one for the history books. The TikTok ban is more than just a tech story, it's a cultural and political saga that will be remembered for years to come. Stay tuned as we unravel the complexities and explore what this means for the future of social media. Okay, so why is the US government so worried about TikTok? Well, it all boils down to who owns it. TikTok is the brainchild of ByteDance, a Chinese tech company. And that's where things get a little sticky for Uncle Sam. The US government is concerned that the Chinese government could pressure ByteDance into handing over user data. We're talking about your personal information, browsing history, even your location. They worry that this data could be used to spy on Americans or spread misinformation. It's a bit of a digital standoff. On one hand, you have TikTok arguing that it's just a fun app for sharing videos. On the other, you have the US government waving red flags about national security. So, who's right? Well, that's the million-dollar question. When it comes to national security, the US government doesn't mess around. In recent years, concerns over data privacy and foreign influence have been at the forefront of many legislative discussions. TikTok, the wildly popular social media app owned by Chinese company ByteDance, found itself in the crosshairs of these debates. Lawmakers and security experts raised alarms about the potential for user data to be accessed by the Chinese government, posing a significant risk to national security. So what did they do about their TikTok concerns? The government didn't just sit back and hope for the best, they took decisive action to address the perceived threat. This wasn't just about one app, it was about setting a precedent for how the US would handle foreign tech companies that might compromise national security. They went straight to the source. High-level meetings were held and intense discussions took place among lawmakers, security experts, and tech industry leaders. The stakes were high, and the pressure was on to find a solution that would protect American users without stifling innovation. Congress passed a law demanding that ByteDance sell its stake in TikTok to a US company. This move was seen as a way to ensure that the app's data would be under American control, thereby mitigating the risk of foreign interference. The decision was met with mixed reactions, with some praising the government's proactive stance and others criticizing it as an overreach. It was a bold move, and it sent shockwaves through the tech world. Companies and users alike were left scrambling to understand the implications. Would other foreign-owned apps face similar scrutiny? How would this affect the global tech landscape? The uncertainty was palpable, and the reactions were swift and varied. ByteDance tried to fight back, arguing that the US government was overstepping its boundaries. They claimed that the data security concerns were unfounded and that the move was politically motivated. The company launched a robust legal and public relations campaign to defend its position, emphasizing its commitment to user privacy and data security. They even took their case to court, hoping to overturn the law. The legal battle was fierce, with both sides presenting compelling arguments. ByteDance's legal team argued that the forced sale was unconstitutional, and that it violated the company's rights. The government, on the other hand, maintained that the move was necessary to protect national security, but it was no use. The Supreme Court ultimately sided with the government, upholding the ban. The ruling was a landmark decision, setting a precedent for how the US might handle similar cases in the future. It was a clear message that national security would take precedence over corporate interests. It was a major blow to TikTok and its millions of users in the US. The app had become a cultural phenomenon, especially among younger users who used it to share everything from dance challenges to viral cat videos. The ban left a void in the social media landscape, and many users were left feeling disconnected and disappointed. The app was officially removed from app stores and access was restricted. Users who tried to download or update the app were met with error messages, and those who already had it installed found that it no longer functioned properly. The digital silence was deafening, and the impact was felt across the social media world. If you tried to open TikTok, all you saw was a message explaining the ban. The message cited national security concerns and the government's decision to protect American users. For many, it was a stark reminder of the power of government regulation and the ever-present tension between security and freedom. It was a sad day for dance challenges and viral cat videos everywhere. The ban marked the end of an era for TikTok in the US, leaving a lasting impact on the digital landscape. As users searched for new platforms to express themselves, the legacy of TikTok's rise and fall served as a cautionary tale about the complex interplay between technology, security, and governance. The legal battle between TikTok and the US government was a nail-biter. TikTok argued that the ban violated free speech rights and that there wasn't enough evidence to prove data sharing with the Chinese government. The Supreme Court, however, wasn't convinced. They focused on the potential for China to collect data from US users. They weren't as convinced by the government's argument about content manipulation, as that might infringe on the First Amendment. Still, the ban stayed. The court's decision sent a clear message. National security concerns can outweigh other factors, even in the digital world. This landmark ruling set a precedent for future cases involving social media and international relations. Section 5. The Trump card: will he save or sink TikTok? Just when you thought the TikTok saga couldn't get any more dramatic, enter Donald Trump. The former president and soon-to-be president again has a history with TikTok, and it's not exactly a love story. Back in 2020, Trump tried to ban TikTok through executive orders, but those were blocked in court. Now, with the ban in place, and Trump about to be sworn in for his second term, everyone is wondering, what will he do? Some speculate that Trump might actually extend the deadline for ByteDance to sell TikTok, giving the app a temporary reprieve. Why the change of heart? No one knows for sure, but it's sure to be a hot topic in the coming weeks. Section 6. TikTok fights back. Project Texas to the rescue. TikTok wasn't about to go down without a fight. The popular social media app, known for its viral videos and massive user base, was facing one of its biggest challenges yet. With the US government raising serious concerns about data privacy and national security, TikTok had to come up with a plan, and fast. In an attempt to address the US government's security concerns, they launched Project Texas. This ambitious initiative was designed to show that TikTok was serious about protecting American user data. The idea was to create a secure environment where data could be stored and managed without any risk of it being accessed by foreign entities. The plan was to store all US user data on servers located in, you guessed it, Texas. By doing this, TikTok aimed to ensure that the data of American users would remain within the borders of the United States, under the watchful eye of US-based security teams. This move was seen as a significant step towards addressing the concerns that had been raised by various government officials and agencies. TikTok even partnered with Oracle, a US tech giant, to add an extra layer of security. Oracle's involvement was meant to provide additional assurance that the data would be handled with the highest standards of security and integrity. This partnership was a strategic move, leveraging Oracle's reputation and expertise in data management to bolster TikTok's efforts. They hoped this would be enough to appease the US government and get the ban lifted. The collaboration with Oracle, combined with the relocation of data servers to Texas, was intended to demonstrate TikTok's commitment to resolving the issues at hand. There was a sense of optimism among TikTok's leadership and its user community that these measures would be sufficient to address the government's concerns. But, alas, it wasn't meant to be. Despite the extensive efforts and the significant investments made by TikTok, the response from the US government was not as favorable as they had hoped. The disappointment was palpable not just within the company but also among its millions of users who had been eagerly awaiting a resolution. The Justice Department wasn't convinced that Project Texas went far enough. They scrutinized the plan in detail and raised additional questions about the potential for data to be accessed by unauthorized parties. The concerns were not just about where the data was stored, but also about how it was managed and who had access to it. They argued that there were still ways for data to flow back to China, and that wasn't a risk they were willing to take. The possibility of data being transferred or accessed by foreign entities remained a significant concern. The Justice Department emphasized the need for more stringent measures to ensure that user data was completely secure and isolated from any potential foreign interference. So, despite TikTok's best efforts, the ban remained in place. The outcome was a stark reminder of the complexities involved in addressing national security concerns in the digital age. TikTok's journey with Project Texas highlighted the challenges that tech companies face when navigating the intersection of technology, privacy, and geopolitics. The story of TikTok's fight to stay in the US market continues to evolve, but for now, the ban stands as a testament to the ongoing debate over data security and sovereignty. Section 7. Free speech or national security, the great debate. The TikTok ban ignited a fierce debate about the balance between free speech and national security. On one side, you have those who believe the ban is a necessary step to protect Americans from potential Chinese surveillance. On the other side, you have those who argue that the ban sets a dangerous precedent for censorship. They point out that there's no concrete evidence of TikTok sharing data with the Chinese government. This debate is not going away anytime soon. It raises important questions about the role of government in regulating social media and the potential trade-offs between security and freedom in the digital age. Section 8. What's next for TikTok in the US? So, is this the end of the road for TikTok in the US? It's hard to say for sure. With the ban in place and Trump's unpredictable nature, the app's future is uncertain. However, there are a few possibilities. One possibility is that ByteDance will finally agree to sell TikTok to a US company, satisfying the government's demands. Another possibility is that Trump will surprise everyone and extend the deadline, giving TikTok a temporary lifeline, or perhaps a new solution will emerge, one that addresses both security concerns and free speech anxieties. Only time will tell what the future holds for this embattled app. Section 9. Your turn. What do you think? The TikTok ban is a complex issue with no easy answers. It raises important questions about privacy, security, and freedom of speech in the digital age. What do you think? Is the ban justified or is it an overreach of government power? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep this conversation going and explore the multifaceted implications of this landmark case. After all, understanding the issues at stake is the first step towards finding solutions that work for everyone.